Hi, I'm Hazel. It is the first week of Battle for Azeroth, and it is also almost Saturday, which makes it time to sit down and catch up with a brand new vlog. And this week was the BFA launch. And the actual launch overall went very smoothly, unless you played on a couple of specific high-pop servers, and those are high-pop servers, a lot of people play on them. I know Area 52, Tichondrius, Draenor, I think, was having issues. There was a couple of them, I think on both NA and EU, that were having just like horrible login issues on the first day. I'm fortunate enough to not play on one of those servers, so my launch was pretty good. But at least we can all say that everything's pretty much going well now, which is more than you could say at this point in the Warlords of Draenor launch. So, you know, not the worst one ever. I don't think we can call it the smoothest launch ever. I think that title still goes to Legion. I don't remember. But in any case, the expansion's out now, and there are so many things to do. If you are not done leveling yet and you're starting to feel a little bit stressed about not being done leveling yet and feeling a little behind, I just want you to know that I am right there with you. I'm not done leveling yet. I am currently right now, 11 a.m. on Friday, I'm level 118. And it's starting to stress me out because I'm in Discord and all my friends are talking about, they're complaining about stuff at endgame, and I'm at the point where I'm still really excited about all the endgame stuff because I haven't even gotten there yet, and I'm feeling a little behind the curve. The leveling experience itself seems to be about a 10 to 20 hour thing depending on what speed you go, so I think I can blame my own lack of being finished yet on two things. One of them, I've been editing this week. After the first day, I've been putting aside time to try and get through the dungeon guides, and then the other thing I can blame it on is I have a compulsion to collect every node that I see. So not only herbs are great. You can pick up herbs really quickly and they give you experience and they're everywhere and they sell really well. I'm having a great time with that, but specifically fishing and archaeology, they don't give you experience right now, nor has fishing ever really given you experience, and I can't walk by a node or a dig zone without fishing all the stuff up and digging all the stuff up, and I need to stop. But I can't, it's so much fun. The fish have been selling really well. If you're looking for a fish to sell for gold right now, Lane Snapper has been doing pretty good for me just because I noticed one of my herbalism quests required some of it, and that's pools in coastal waters. And then with the archaeology thing, I got a rare archaeology thing to proc. I haven't finished it yet because it needs a lot more fragments, but I've got one to proc, and I refuse to Google what it's going to be because I don't want to know. I want to finish it and then have it happen, and I didn't look up the archaeology stuff yet. I don't want to be spoiled. I'm so excited. But yeah, if you're not done yet, then me too. The game's not going anywhere and the raid isn't open until September the 4th, so take your time, have fun, and do whatever feels fun to you. That's what I've been doing anyways. I am hoping that I can finish leveling today. I have like a level and a half left, so my plan is to try and do it on stream, and I think that would be really fun. I figured for the vlog I'd put together a quick list of my top 5 favorite things so far, so keep in mind this is from the perspective of somebody that hasn't finished leveling yet, but so far, my top 5 favorite things in no particular order. One of them, disenchanting stuff gives you a reasonable amount of mats. That is so good. Dust has always been, or at least through Legion, dust was really hard to come by, because in Legion you would get a green piece of gear and be like, okay, I could vendor this for like 50, 60 gold. I could sell it in the auction house for like 100, 150 gold. Or I could disenchant it and get 2 pieces of dust. And I found myself getting almost all of my dust for Legion enchanting through Bloods of Sargeras, which is not normal. I don't know. I wasn't really about that. So I'm really excited that when I DE a piece of gear, I haven't been scrapping my stuff. I've been DEing my stuff just because I'm trying to level up my enchanting. And I DE a piece of gear and I get like 5, 6 Gloom Dust added just like a random green from a quest or from a BOE. I'm so excited about that. That feels really good. Second thing, also related to enchanting, I am so over the moon excited about the glove gathering enchants. If you are doing skinning, herbalism, mining, or archaeology, get yourself a glove enchant. They are cheap right now. People are crafting them to level their enchanting, so they are dirt cheap on the auction house, and they reduce the cast time of your gather spells down to like a half a second. So I've been putting the culture and herbalism enchant on my gloves and running around on my shredder and just like sloop, just like grabbing flowers from everywhere, and it's great because half a second is usually faster than what it takes for an aggroed mob to come hit you. So you can just run into an area that has stuff in it, pick your herb, and then run away before they can interrupt your cast. That's probably going to bite me in the butt soon because I'm probably going to get knocked off my mountain and be like, there's like 90 things around me, but for now, having a great time. So if you haven't already, get yourself a glove enchant. Third thing, also slightly related to enchanting, I'm having more fun with professions than I've had in a long time. My Hearthstone. Between the war campaign research that reduces my Hearthstone cooldown, I think by 10 minutes when I'm in Kulturas and Zandalar, and the enchanting only bracer enchant, I've chosen the one that further reduces my Hearthstone cooldown. I have a 4-minute Hearthstone cooldown, and that's just the coolest thing ever. I really hate running out of teleports. This means that I can basically just put like my Dalaran Hearthstone and my Garrison Hearthstone and my Stormwind teleport cloak like in the bank, because I can just get back to the city so quickly and then port to most of the important places from there. The fourth thing is how much voice-acted dialogue there is. And not only voice-acted dialogue, but voice-acted dialogue when you are in a situation where you are ready to listen to it. In Legion, there was a whole ton of quest voice acting, but usually it would start as you like turned in a quest or as you picked it up. And at those points, you're already halfway to wherever it is you're going next. You're not sticking around to listen to some NPC that's still talking over by your quest giver. But in BFA, I've noticed there is still some of that, but a lot of the voice acting is set up in dialogues that happen while you're going places. While I'm on a boat to get to a new questing hub, while an NPC is taking me on her griffin into a new zone, she's talking to me about it, and I don't have anything better to do than listen to her, so I'm actually listening to her. And the other nice side effect of having all this voice-acted dialogue is I get to find out how many things that I'm saying wrong. Apparently, it's Borealis and not Borealis. I'm probably not going to change. Maybe I will. You know, Borealis is just like the Azerothian accent way of saying Borealis, because I can't say it in the cute accent that Talia has. But anyways, and then the fifth thing that is my favorite so far is that the dungeons, for me, A+. I love how varied they are. I love how cool they look. And this isn't something that's like brand new, but I think they've done a really good job of building the story of the people that you're fighting through their mechanics. So for example, when you're in Wakecrest Manor and you're fighting Lord and Lady Wakecrest, and this is a pretty early dungeon, Lady Wakecrest keeps sacrificing her own health to continue revitalizing her like quivering, hideous, undead monstrosity of what's left of her husband that she just can't let go of. And that's a cool mechanic, and it also makes a lot of sense and kind of gives you some more understanding into who Lady Wakecrest is and what's driving her at this point, or at least a creepy thing that she likes to do. And you can find instances of that on almost every boss fight, or at the very least a couple times in every dungeon. These cool mechanics that kind of build out the flavor and make sense with the boss that you're fighting. Again, not a completely new concept, but something that I think they really killed it with in BFA. On Wednesday, my collector's edition finally arrived. I had pre-ordered it from Amazon, so it didn't come like first minute of the expansion, but that's fine. I had already pre-ordered the digital one, so I had access to the expansion. So I stuck it back there, and I haven't opened it yet, and I figured I would open it on the vlog. So let's do an unboxing. I haven't even taken the plastic wrap off it yet, and I probably should have picked something up to do that with first. I'm just gonna claw my way in. It's about time for me to redo my nails anyways. I did these on Monday. Ugh. Man, how useful would it be if you could train like your cat to help you open packages like this? Like, I bet if she just like, there we go, I got it. So this has, and I know a lot of people have opened these already, and I don't care because this one's mine. All the digital stuff that you get with this, I have already because I did have the digital deluxe edition, but this includes the collector's edition digital soundtrack key, which I'm actually really hoping that I can just like play while I'm working. I think that would be really fun, like ambient, like focus music. So it's got the book. It is a double-sided book with 2 novellas in it. This is available to read for free online. You don't have to buy the collector's edition to read the book. I have not read it yet because I wanted to read it for the first time when I actually got my copy. Something that WoW has always done, but they've taken to kind of an extreme in BFA, and I'm interested to hear what your guys' opinions on this are, is they have really diversified the different platforms where they're telling the story. Like, they've been doing the novels for a long time. For the most part, a lot of the story in earlier expansions was like contained within WoW. And these days, you have all of these other places to find out more about the story. You have the novels, you have the comic books, you have the Warbringer shorts, you have just like all of these different places where they're building flavor and story. And on one hand, I think that lets them tell a much more rich and detailed story. And reading Before the Storm specifically got me so hyped for BFA. But on the other hand, it is a little bit sad that if you want the full story, you can't just get it in the game. You have to go to like 4 or 5 different places to try and get like the full idea of what's going on. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think, because there's definitely arguments for and against that. And I wonder if you guys think that they took that too far, or if they just really killed it in making oh, this is so pretty. I haven't gotten a new paper book. Like, I am a convert to digital reading. I read all of my books on my iPad, and I like it a lot for a couple of reasons, but I haven't, like, oh man, this is so, I am so glad that I got this. Oh. Basically, the gist of these novellas is that they're going to tell the Burning of Teldrassil story from the perspective of both factions, which I am looking forward to, and it's so pretty. I had to cram all 6 of my whelps into one cubby of the shelf to make room for this, and I think I'm going to have to leave it like that, because I want to display this when I'm not reading it, and then there's one other thing that you get to display. So the deal with this is that if you're like me and you already bought either the regular digital or the digital deluxe edition, and you want to also get the collector's edition, the way that works is you buy the collector's edition, you pay like the extra $100 or whatever it is, and then when you apply this key to your account, it's going to refund you what you paid for the digital copy in Blizzard balance. It does not refund you in cash. You cannot get your money back, but you do get the money that you paid back in Blizzard balance that you can then put towards digital goods like Hearthstone packs or Overwatch loot boxes or WoW shop mounts or shop pets or tokens, I think, stuff like that. Oh, this is a stand for the emblem. So the emblem, and this is the correct side. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Is this the first time they've done like a physical, like, displayable collectible in these? I've had collector's editions before. I bought them every time. How do you get this thing out? Up until MOP, and they always had like the art book. I don't remember them ever having like a really nice looking collectible like this that you can just put on your shelf or your desk or how. I mean, I can't put it anywhere if I can't get it out. It feels really sturdy, so I'm probably not going to break it. There it is. Oh, that's heavy. Okay, so there's the Horde side, and then there's my side. Oh man. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put that up. The background is so out of focus that you can't really tell which side the emblem's on. I may end up displaying that somewhere else in my house and putting my plushies back on their shelf. We'll see. For videos this week for me, I have been putting out dungeon guides. I'm going to continue to put out dungeon guides. I apologize deeply if you're not subbed to me for dungeon guides. There are a limited amount of dungeons, so we'll get them done, and then we'll move on to raid guides, which are kind of more the same, but I will try and sprinkle in some other different types of videos as I can while still getting through this stuff while it's still fairly new. So I appreciate your patience with me on that. And questions from this week. Isaac asks, I've been circling the idea of doing some streaming and vlogging myself and wondering what you edit with. What editing software would you recommend for someone just starting out? I'd rather not drop hundreds of dollars on software for something that isn't supporting itself yet, so anything you're aware of that is basic and free would be much appreciated. So first of all, I 100% agree with you, and not just with video stuff, but with any new hobby. Don't buy all the stuff first. And, you know, if you're like going parachuting, then maybe buy some of the stuff first. But generally speaking, you don't need a whole lot of equipment to get started in a lot of hobbies. So I started out editing my videos with Windows Movie Maker, which was free. That was the free editor that I started with. It'll get you started, but it doesn't do a whole lot. After I started feeling limited by what Windows Movie Maker could do, I got myself a copy of Adobe Premiere Elements. So to this day, I edit with Premiere. Today I use Premiere Pro, but I used Adobe Premiere Elements for years, and it's not cheap. It's about like, I think 80 to 100 bucks. I think I got it for like 65 on sale. It's not cheap, but it's a one-time fee, so you're not on a subscription, and that did everything that I could possibly want to do with video. The other free editor that I've tried is iMovie, so if you have access to a Mac system, then you can try that out. It comes for free on them. There are other highly reviewed free editors out there that you can look up and try. I just haven't tried any of them, so I can't personally vouch for them. I'd recommend to experiment with some free ones, and if you find yourself still doing it and feeling limited by what you can do for free, then try to pick up a copy of Premiere Elements on sale if you can find one. Chris asks, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the currency change to pet battle tokens. It just seems like an odd thing for Blizzard to change. So on the surface, I totally agree. It does feel a bit strange, especially when the pet charm system worked really well for both Warlords and Legion. It seems kind of odd to change it out of nowhere. But when you think about it a little more, if they had continued to use the same pet charms for BFA content, then the ideal thing for a min-maxing pet battler to do is to do like 4 expansions worth of pet battle content every day to be leveling their pets as quickly as possible, or leveling more to sell if that's their kind of thing. So what they did by having a new and old pet charm is essentially the same thing that they did when they overhauled the profession system and made it so that you only have to go do legacy content if you want legacy rewards. And if you want new rewards, then you only have to do new content. You don't feel like you have to go back and do old stuff. That's what I feel the goal of that change was, and that's why I'm personally not mad about it. Shige, and apologies if my pronunciation is off, asks, my question for you is what tea do you recommend to drink before bed, or what's your personal favorite? I've been drinking chamomile for a while and it's nice, but I think I need some more variety. So for my evening / before bed time slot, which I kind of categorize as like 8 p.m. onwards, I drink chamomile tea, which you're already on, peppermint tea. Specifically, I have this rose peppermint tea that I got in one of my mail times that I've been really enjoying. Peppermint tea just puts me like right to sleep. And then the third one, if I'm looking for something that reminds me more of actual tea but still doesn't have a ton of caffeine, is hojicha, which is a Japanese tea that's made of like the toasted stem parts of the tea leaf. So very little caffeine, a little bit. So if you are hypersensitive to caffeine, then maybe avoid it before bed. But I've never had any problems falling asleep after drinking hojicha, and it's got like this really nice sort of nutty, woody, earthy flavor that I find very calming in the evenings. A Flying Giraffe asks, my question is, what is your favorite World of Warcraft novel and expansion, and why do you like them? So my favorite Warcraft novel, and for reference, I've only read 3. I've read The Shattering, War Crimes, and Before the Storm. My favorite is easily Before the Storm. And I can't really tell you why, it was just a better book for me. I found the writing style easier to get immersed into, and I felt like it told more emotional stories. Like, instead of it just kind of like laying out the events of what happened, it is a character study. It gets really into how these different characters are feeling and where they're coming from in their actions, as opposed to just telling what they're doing. Not saying that the first books didn't have any emotion in them, but I found that the emotions came through really clearly in Before the Storm, to the point that I think I cried like 3 times while reading that book. And then for my favorite WoW expansion, I think that title still belongs to Cataclysm, because that was my golden year. I feel like everybody has a time in their life that was just like a golden age for WoW for them, whether that was because they were doing a job or a school that let them play more. Maybe you had friends that you had a really good connection with that you played with during that expansion, but I feel like everybody had a golden age, and Cataclysm was mine. That was my first full WoW expansion, and has a special place in my heart, although I think the top spot might be getting, it's too early to say, but I feel like it might be getting edged out by BFA. I'm really excited about BFA. I'm having such a good time just doing nothing, and I think that's a good sign. So that has been my week. I'm going to be streaming this afternoon, hopefully the end of my first character's leveling, fingers crossed. So that starts at 3 p.m. Pacific time here on YouTube. If you have any questions that you would like answered on a vlog, please leave them in the comments, and if you could, make sure you include the word question going forward when you do that, so that I can more easily pick them out and get back to them if I lose them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!